The Dallas Cowboys found their hidden gem. We're going to talk about offensive line guru Duke Manyweather and the impact he's having with this young offensive line. I mean, he's worked with guys like Will Campbell, Lane Johnson, and now he's in the building with us. We're also going to take a quick look at the running back lineup, stats, and we're going to try to understand exactly who's going to be the starter by week, the permanent starter by week 3, week 4, week 5, because I have a feeling that as we, go into week 1, 2, and 3, that running back position as far as the starter is going to change. It's definitely going to shift. So really quick, let's get right into it. Duke Manyweather. I just heard of this guy. He's someone new. The name is new in my vocabulary, but I did a lot of research. I watched a couple videos on YouTube, and from everything that I've seen and watched, he is a guru at offensive line, just training, period. What he did with Tyler Guyton to get him ready for the first game of his career going up against Myles Garrett when we played the Browns, it was kind of poetic to watch. I was on his website and I saw a really interesting statement about him. It says, Duke Manyweather is a pioneer in offensive line scouting and development. He emphasizes a coaching philosophy centered on a holistic approach to mind, body, and craft. In 2018, Duke and All-Pro tackle Lane Johnson officially launched the inaugural OL Mastermind Summit. This is an annual global hub for offensive line talent with 300 plus attendees, exclusively hosted at Sports Academy at the Star in Fresno, Texas. Now, we all know our offensive line: Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, and Terence Steele. We also got to take a quick look at their PFF grades, because before we kind of go any further into Duke, let's just take a quick observation. So Tyler Guyton year one wasn't the best. He wasn't the best, but technically where he ranked at was 63rd of 67. So he was not the worst, and I don't foresee him in year 2 going backwards. I think he's going to be clearly better. He got bigger. He spent all of his offseason at the Star, according to reports. So I'm anticipating big things from Tyler Guyton in year 2. Tyler Smith, it really speaks for himself. We're talking about a guy who is currently top 10 in pass blocking, and he's not even out of his rookie contract. I mean, he's got a 75 PFF grade overall. He is, he was the guy that when we drafted him, everybody was saying, who's this guy? Who's this kid from Tulsa? What are the Cowboys doing? Why would you spend a first-round pick on this guy that nobody knows? And that's because the Cowboys themselves are gurus at picking offensive linemen, which is why they landed on a guy like Tyler Smith and has been an all-pro since year 2. Now, another guy who's really promising, Cooper Beebe. Cooper Beebe in year 1 is ranked top 15 center per PFF. I think it goes without saying that the questions that the fan base and even myself kind of had about him when it was kind of talks about us drafting a new center like Cooper Beebe before we got him. And side note, there was also some talks that he might end up an Eagle. I'm really glad that we ended up getting him. Was the fact that his arm length. They said his arm length was short, but it has gone to show that that's not a problem for him at all. He stayed consistent. He works his behind off, and it really goes to show, and it reflects in his grade. I foresee him growing as well at the center position coming in year 2. Tyler Booker. Now, of course, there's no stats on Tyler Booker. Not yet. One of the cool things I think that I really like about Tyler Booker was just his introduction. If you didn't see the video, you definitely have to YouTube it. When he was introduced, or when he was drafted, and he was doing an interview with Micah Parsons. He had a quote. I actually don't have the quote, but he said something that was great. He said he likes to watch his opponents' love for the game leave their eyes when they have to line up against Tyler Booker. At 6'4", 321, 21 years old, give me that guy. Give me that guy all day. I think he's going to step in. I think he's going to pick up. It's really hard to say pick up where Zach Martin left off. We're talking about a guy like Zach Martin had more Pro Bowls than holding calls in his career. So it's hard to live up to that. But I think when you're looking at the draft and how the Cowboys draft offensive linemen, you got the guy that's the guy to get to fill that type of position. Now, mind you, there was always a lot of talks that the Cowboys were going to draft Teteroa McMillan, the wide receiver, but the Panthers went and snagged him second choice was Tyler Booker, kind of like how we were going to draft Patrick Surtain. Micah Parsons was the second choice. The second choice, a lot of times so far, has been panning out to be the better choice. Now, of course, who knows what the backfield will look like with a guy like Surtain opposite Diggs. I mean, we can only think. We can only imagine. But nonetheless, it's really neither here nor there. I think Tyler Booker's going to come out the gate swinging. He's already said he's not going to be what holds the offense back. And you love that from a rookie coming in. And lastly, going back. Lastly, Terence Steele. Now, one of the most interesting things with Terence Steele is he is first in games played. He is probably the most durable right tackle in the game with a number 1 rank in games played at left tackle. Now, his run blocking is a lot better than his pass blocking, but again, with a guy like Duke in the building, I foresee him coming in and kind of, I'm obviously getting with these guys and getting them out of those bad rhythms and back into the rhythms of, being that top guy to be able to defend Dak and hold, what's the average time that, drop it in the comments from what's the average time that a quarterback needs to get the ball out? About 3 seconds? Terence Steele, he might give about half of that because when you go back and watch the game specifically when we played the Steelers and how he was against Watt. Now, there's only a handful of right tackles that are great against Watt when he's coming at you, but there was some work. There was some work that needed to be done, and I'm excited to have a guy like Duke in the building. I have another statement from his website. It says Duke's influence is evident weekly during football season as 40 NFL offensive linemen he's trained in the offseason take the field. Since 2018, he has seen 70 of his players drafted, including 12 first-round picks, 30 top 10 100 picks, and another 17 UDFA making the roster. His unique journey, transitioning from college coach to consulting for the Dallas Cowboys and New Orleans Saints, is an inspiring story that highlights expertise and highest level. So both statements I'm loving. I'm really excited. But of course, with all this offensive line talk, it kind of makes you think, where does this translate in the running game? I'm going to tell you where it translates. It translates to a guy like Javonte Williams probably doubling these numbers. Now, maybe not so much the yards. I don't know if he's going to go for 1,600 yards rushing with Sanders behind him and Blue. But when you look at what he was able to do in 17 games, he proved durability. He played all 17 with 139 attempts and 4 touchdowns. I think he can be a 1,000-yard running back if Mr. Miles Sanders doesn't take it from him. Now, when I say that, I mean that in the context of truly, like I said in the beginning of this video, who is going to be the without a doubt the starter every game? We're not like who, because it really kind of goes without saying. Miles Sanders and Williams, they both have time. I mean, you're talking about a 28-year-old back and a 25-year-old back. And honestly, they're honestly still technically very young, but they do have some NFL years on them. And so you really got to ask yourself, how long are they going to be the starter based off of, just NFL knowledge? Because that's really how it happens. When vets come in, you always are, more looked at to be the starter because, you're the vet. You're more savvy with, the terminologies and et cetera, is where you look at a guy like Blue who's about to come in, and it's going to be really interesting to see where this guy racks up. He's the rookie. This guy came in, mind you, when he was at Texas, he rushed for 730 yards with 8 touchdowns. He also had 368 receiving with another 6 touchdowns receiving for a total of 14 touchdowns, 15 games played. He's durable. I mean, this guy at the combine ran a 4.38 and on his pro day ran a 4.25. I think it kind of, without question, Jaden Blue by week 4, week 5 is going to be the starter. I don't think this guy that we got in Duke is coming in to revamp the O-line for anything less than that rookie we drafted who runs a 4.25 to come in and dominate off the back, period. But again, I'm excited to watch the end results. I think it's going to be really cool to kind of see, where this line transitions. I mean, our offensive line is, Terence Steele is 28. He's officially the oldest offensive lineman. And it was Zach Martin, who was, 35, 30, 37, 38, I believe. So all of a sudden, the offensive line is one of the youngest. now in the league. And all of a sudden now, we got one of the best guys coming in the league or a part of the league to help that. I'm all for it. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait for week 1. We're going up against the Eagles. I mean, we're talking about a dominant D-line, a dominant offensive line. There's a lot of questions that will be answered week 1, which, by the way, I do have a video on the way in regarding week 1. I think I'm going to do something in the realm of a like backfield versus backfield, line versus line, D-line versus D-line, QB versus QB, wide receivers, et cetera, et cetera. You see where I'm going. I'm thinking we're going to do that for a couple series as we go. But again, this is your number one source for everything Dallas Cowboys. I appreciate you guys checking in. This has been Cowboys Digest, and we'll see you next time.